Okay, 1.1 seems to be the popular opinion. 1.2 seems to be the popular opinion. Okay, let's do that.
Actually, 1.8, 1.3, 1.4, and 1.5 are functional something, and 1.1 is different. So I think that we should start from 1.1.
Sure.
Also, 1.1 is a popular, like the most popular.
Okay, sure. Also, today I have no idea about difficulty. I picked them almost arbitrarily.
Do you know the solutions?
No, of course not. Like, if I knew the solutions, there would be no point.
Who picked the questions today?
Nobody. I just went to contest collections, picked the picked problems that look decent.
Which is the easiest one?
No idea, honestly. I don't even remember the sources, although I probably have some of them written.
Can you please enlarge it? Problem 1. We can't
Yeah, yeah,
read it.
I'm shifting to just that. Should be quite a decent size now.
Yeah, fine.
Is this visible?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we can work now. This I do know the source of, actually, I think. Wait, okay, I'll not wager a guess. Okay. Okay, let's start. This is a complex number z with equal 1 and f. So, interesting. I assume we should at least look at, if we're going to do this, we should look at, instead of f of z, let's look at f of z, f of z prime. That seems to be more interesting to me.
Why are you doing this?
Firstly, we have the root that goes away as soon as we do this. Secondly, because f of z and f of z prime should ideally have the same size. If given the function, they will have the same size. So as soon as I do this, f of z prime is a better condition to look at, since we want it now to be n minus 2.
I'm not sure why f of z prime and f of z have the same size.
Why
I
would they
mean,
be
f
good?
of, we know this, no? F of z ka prime is f of z prime, because this is just a polynomial. F is a polynomial, right?
So is this the theorem?
Yeah, this is just common, where you can take the prime like this. This is easy. Like, this is just you can prove it for polynomials by these two properties: a plus b prime is equal to a prime plus b prime, and a prime b a.
Oh, by A prime you mean conjugate of A, right?
Yeah, of course. This is what I mean. Okay, so we are looking at this case. I think this is a better case to just look at in general. Let me erase this stuff now. This is not relevant to us. Okay.
Okay, so like I was thinking in a different way. Like if you put z equal to 1, obviously we get n, yeah. So we get n. And like if I can tell that minimum of the f of z for like either way theta, there is like less than root n by 2, then we're done. Like because it's continuous in theta. Yeah.
Are you just saying that we should plug z equal e to the I theta?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do that, of course. I'm just saying this is just a better way to look at it. Also, I think if we could prove like it goes below n minus 2 and it goes above n minus 2, we'll be done by some continuity
Continuity, yeah, okay.
as we vary theta. This has to be
What
true.
continuity, please can you explain?
As we vary z equal I e to the I theta, as you vary theta, uh, f of z f of z prime, this will be continuous.
Oh, why
So
would this be continuous?
you can prove it. This is very direct details.
Yeah, I mean, like, it would be like,
Yeah, I mean, this
All
is
in all.
continuous. This is continuous with
So
e to
one
the
case
I,
I think you can take is z equal to 1.
and then by IVT you'll get the
yeah,
result.
that will be the upper bound. So, like, it'll be n.
Yeah, upper bound you directly get, I guess, just n. You need lower one as well.
So, like, why did you do f of z prime? Like, what is it? Like, what is so special about it?
This is just the point is this is a real value.
This is a,
Real value.
oh, is
Like,
it?
I mean, this is literally f of mod f of z squared. No?
This is an integer value, I think, because n is integer.
We want it to be an integer value. We don't know that it is. We want it to be n minus 2. We don't know
No,
that.
like f of z times f of z prime is equals n minus 2. So this should be
And if we
integer, right?
want it to be n minus 2, we want to find such a z. We haven't found such a z.
Also, it is not necessarily be an integer because there is modulus.
I mean, it's a positive real. Also, the modulus can be ignored now.
The modulus need not be there after z bar.
Yeah, exactly. The modulus is pretty irrelevant now once you do this. Anyway, yeah, looking at z and z e to the I theta is a decent idea. And of course, we just directly have n, but how do we do more than that is the next thing. Sorry, just give me a second. Not defined. 0 to the 0 is not defined. Okay, so what do we do now?
Should we consider the n equals to 2 case first?
Sure. I mean, then you're just looking for x to the. Okay. I mean, I think that's just direct, I guess, actually, now that you say it. That's x to the a plus x to the b is equal to x to the a, comma, x to the b minus a plus 1. So just pick a root of this and you're done.
Oh, isn't f of 0 equal to 0? Like 0 to the power anything not 0.
Yeah. I mean, a is a set of positive integers, so 0 to the that is 0. Yeah.
Yeah, so minimum bound is 0 and n. So continue to give us the same user and minus.
Continuity on the things which are one mod, which have size 1. 0 has size
Oh,
0.
okay.
On complex numbers with modulus 1 we are talking. As you vary around the unit square, unit circle, unit circle.
Yeah, got it.
Hmm. I would usually
Like,
want to look at. Yeah, sorry, go on.
yeah, so like, I mean, it's like pretty like silly, but uh, like, can't we like just like derivative and then like maybe find a minimum with that?
Uh, on the unit circle, how do you plan to do that?
No, like
Basically,
take it
sorry.
as f of theta and then like write in terms of sine and all.
Ah, can't we do something cleaner that looks just messy and unnecessary? Like, that's definitely not something I would want to do personally. Also, since we are looking at it, we can just assume that the smallest element of A is 1 or 0 for that matter.
Oh, it is 1 because positive integers.
Smallest element of A is any set of n positive integers.
I think we can even take it to be 0 because
Yeah, but like if you want to keep the positive integers condition and not say things are not defined or get into that mess, is all I mean. But yeah, since we're just working with z equal mod z equal 1, it's absolutely fine to take least element 0.
So like another
Yeah.
thought was that maybe we could put like solve those equations. What that a theta equal to 2n pi and then a 2 theta equal to 2n plus 1 pi. Maybe we could sort them out like that. Doesn't seem very possible.
Mhm. What I was thinking was we're basically when we multiply this, like if we write this and we are looking at this way, e to the I theta, then we are basically looking at a in a, sorry, a comma b in a, product of like across all such pairs, x to, sorry, e to the I into I theta into a minus b, right? We're just looking across all pairs, this value.
Yeah.
I don't know why this should be very complicated to find actually. This looks quite decent. Like for three values again, like n equal 2 and 3 cases are anyway easy to work with.
I think we can try working with n equal to 3 and see how to do that.
N equal 3 is again, I think, direct since you just, it's x to the a plus x to the b plus x to the c. You just pick a root of x to the a plus x to the b.
Oh, maybe then because base cases are clear.
No, I don't see how you would induct because it's a root 2 mine. Next time it's going to root 2, not to 2.
Oh, yes.
Can we say that if e to the power of I theta a minus b exists in that sum, then b minus a also exists?
Yeah, yeah. What you're saying that if a minus b is here, b minus is also here?
Yeah. So maybe. Wait, no, it's not
Yeah,
real.
yeah, yeah,
Shit.
yeah, yeah. Of course, if you add a minus b and b minus a, like both of these, that's
But
real.
it's
Fine.
not real numbers. I thought maybe you could apply MGM. Okay, leave it.
No, after you add, you can apply MGM. Yeah, I guess. But like,
Can we tell what is n?
where's M?
N.
N is this. A is the set of n positive integers.
So there are n integers in there.
In A, yeah. Yeah, that's how A is defined.
If n is all set of positive integers, then f of x is simply 1 over 1 minus x.
What if, and that's not even well defined, no? Like then how do you even talk about this value f of x if A was all positive integers? You have to talk about a finite set of positive integers. When mod x equal 1, then it's just impossible, like not impossible, but very hard to talk about that case then.
Okay.
Like, not even very hard. It does not converge to anything. It's just impossible to talk about it.
Oh, I tried putting z as x plus iy, and then
X plus, okay, sure.
then f of z into f of z conjugate comes out to be n plus sigma I greater than j a minus ib, oh sorry, x minus iy to the power ai minus aj, where ai is an element of capital A and a1 less than a2 less than so on.
Basically what we did, no? Basically this
Yes. Yes.
written with e to the theta e expanded.
Yeah.
Okay, so like if you expand into like sine and cos, I think I'm doing mine. 2 of cos of a minus b theta plus so on, like some total sum of a
Fine, I
minus.
mean, yeah, that's just okay, true, but like, why would you want to do that? Like, okay, I know what you mean. You're just saying this, right? Do some cos
Like I
uh,
mean like
theta
that's
into a minus b
yeah,
uh,
that's
a comma b in
a,
a
yeah.
greater than b plus n, correct? This is what you're saying, right?
Wait, why is it plus n?
Because a greater than b, a equal b cases also, there are n of them.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, now you're saying this should be n minus 2 and n goes away, so we want some cos theta a minus b to be minus 1. Okay,
Yes, but
that actually turns out to be quite decent. Okay.
oh, it does.
No, like this statement is pretty clean. No, you just want to find such a theta
Yes.
is equal to, I'll even pretend it's, can I
I
just,
didn't get how this suffices. What are you?
Wait, like I
what's the
didn't.
issue exactly?
Are we doing AMGM?
No, I mean, we literally just opened this e to the theta I a minus b in terms of theta. Like you have a minus b and b minus a, right? When a comma b are elements. So you literally just add them. You get
Yeah.
2 cos theta a minus b plus n when a equal b. Those are n cases.
Okay.
So and then you remove 2 you remove, and this is the structure that you want to prove such a theta exists for any finite set A.
Like this is good or is this not good? This is good,
I,
right?
I think it's better than the original structure, yes.
Okay.
I would usually be hesitant to do this, but turns it can be clean, yeah.
Okay, that was coincidence.
No, it's actually good. Like it's good to expand. It's not a bad thing here because the computation is clean. This shouldn't be so bad. This looks pretty decent, honestly. We just need to show such an existence, in fact. Theta is equal to 0 gives us the 0 thing that we were talking about earlier. Now we just want to show like greater than worse than -1 also exists. Or at least -1 exists. Like the least value of this function is less than equal to -1. Can I do something really silly? A minus b is a set of integers, right?
Yeah.
Is subset of a set of integers, right?
Subset of set of integers, what?
I mean, subset of z, it would be, right? A minus b.
Yeah. Okay, let's say how many, what do I want? Okay, if there was x number of odds and y number of evens, then there are total xy of these, right? Out of what? A comma b, there are how many out of x plus y choose 2?
What is X? What is Y?
X number of evens in A, y number of odds.
Okay, so why are you like separating even and odd?
I just wanted to consider theta and theta plus pi and like theta plus small angles and thinking like what angles I can think of that will be nice for me.
So odd n pi and then even n pi, is that right?
Yeah, okay, maybe we can do something better though.
If you could set all of them to n pi by 2 would be like the best.
Yeah, that I don't know is I don't think is possible just because some of them will be even, some of them will be odd. So the complex part actually just goes away. Pranav is right. Yeah, exactly.
So it was Mayuk who said, not me.
No, like the earlier explanation canceling out, you said, right?
Oh,
Okay, so okay, so like, is there any condition on the number of even and odd a minus b's, or is it like completely possible for like zero of them to be even and like n of
It's
them
a,
to be
I think it's just arbitrary.
arbitrary? Okay.
I think we can try our idea of replacing theta by theta plus pi.
I don't know how strong that is. I'm considering some other ideas too. I wanted to, in fact, like rotate it by some partial angles and say at least like the sum of these is bad, so at least one of them has to be good for us.
Maybe you could go like at some quadrant, the for like first and second quadrant causes decreasing, and like third and fourth quadrant increasing. So maybe you could tell that if there are more number of them in the odd quadrant, something like
Hmm.
that. Like,
Yeah, I think I get what you mean.
but like,
I mean, we can get sillier bounds fairly directly, I guess. Like if you were to just look at uh,
like
hmm.
okay,
Mhm.
like we could write it as like okay, so like we know that wait, do we know? Yeah, we know that. I'm not very sure if we know or not, but like n theta can be written as a polynomial of cos theta, I think. So
Yeah, I mean that's fine, but like
As your screen went black.
yeah, somebody was here, so I had to let them in.
Okay.
it doesn't seem to work that like just a general polynomial.
Yeah. Uh, maybe it could, but I don't see it directly at least.
Your odd even idea seems to be reasonable a bit, no?
Uh,
Like plus one minus one things reduce all of that.
yeah, but like when it's even, it does not help us. Like there are many even cases.
Then just take like if you were taking pi by 2, then just take 3 pi by 2. It will turn the sign and it will be less than minus
Even
1.
thing, it's still. I mean, then you are again taking another case, and that you are ignoring. Now the old cases will pop up. No, you have to consider all rotations. You'll also have to consider pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2.
Okay, so like
Yeah, but there are
But then
three
you'll
possible.
have to go to enough depth.
But like, see, there will be three possibilities: greater than equal to 1, less than equal to minus 1, or 0. The total sum, right?
Yeah, but like now you have added four things. So the worst thing you're getting is -1/4 or something.
Oh, why minus 1 by 4?
Or something as well.
Because like if it is pi by 2 multiple, then it will be 1 or minus 1 only, no? Theta is pi.
You're just looking at theta is equal to pi and
Oh,
theta is equal to 0. Interesting.
I think we can conjecture that given any real okay, given any positive integers b1, b2, bk, there existed theta such that summation cos of theta into bi is less than equal to -1, and I think we can do this by induction by making the induction statement something stronger, like there are infinite many solutions or something like that.
Interesting.
okay, so like uh, wait, what should I call you, Rohan or Rohan Bhaiya?
Rohan, just Rohan.
So like Rohan, like are you sure that there is no conditional number of even and odd like anything?
I mean, there's nothing given to us.
No, not in the thing. Like for any given set, a minus b, or like actually with mod, so then a plus b, number of all possible a plus b from the set. There's no condition on how many of them are even and how many of them are odd.
If like there were in the initial set x odds and y evens, then you can just say this set has x, y odds and x plus y choose to minus x, y evens. Or like x choose to
Oh,
plus y choose to evens.
oh.
Yeah, but okay, it could be actually decent to add pi by 2 and all. Or like just pi by n in general. They call rotations of pi by n. Could be decent, I don't know.
I think my idea would work. So suppose consider theta equal to pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2. Now a minus b will always be an integer. So cos of theta a minus b is 1, minus 1 or 0 for any
Or
a minus.
one, or one.
Yeah, 1, minus 1 or 0 I said.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay. Now we take pi minus 2, theta equal to pi minus 2, and suppose sum is greater than equal to plus
Theta
1.
is equal to pi minus 2, pi
Pi
by
by
2.
2, pi by 2.
Okay, okay.
Sorry. Yeah. Now sum is, suppose the sum is greater than equal to plus 1. Uh,
Okay.
then we just change theta to 3 pi by 2 and all the sign shift, so the
No,
total sum.
if a minus b is even, then no sign shift. Like sign,
So तब तो
if a
zero है
minus
ना.
b is,
तो
if
तब
a min, if I, if
n
cos
pi.
0 0 नहीं है, cos 0 1 है, वही दिक्कत है.
what's the issue? I don't see it. Cos 0 is 1. Cos, yeah.
Oh, okay. So like in that case, just consider 0 and pi then.
0 and pi does not help us either. No, 0 you're getting value x plus y choose 2, and uh, and what is the other case?
Pi.
Pi you are just getting the value x plus y choose 2 minus 2xy. Neither of these are necessarily good. This could be good, but like this is very close to not good. Like x square plus y square plus 2xy minus x minus y. This gets cut, so it's literally x minus y choose 2. Now, as long as this is like literally never negative.
एक और minus 2xy नहीं होएगा, by 2 है तो minus 4xy आ जाएगा.
I've already done it twice. It was just xy. Okay, okay. I think I did not do the calculation entirely accurately, but like it's like x minus y square minus x minus y upon 2. This is the actual value, but even this is like never really good until x and y are like very close, approximately just root x apart, or like root 3x, yeah, something root x close to apart from each other, which is like root cx or something, which is not really great for us anyway. Like there could be many odds and many evens. Like maybe it's mostly odds or mostly evens. And now if you want to change it to pi by 2 instead, even that does not help much.
Okay, wait. So, like, is it possible to like change the value of theta so that all the cos become negative cos of that?
I was wondering about that. I don't see how to do it though.
Like, I mean, it will be 2n plus 1 pi by 2, right? So, like, is it some GCD HCF maybe?
I don't even know if it will be possible. I'm highly doubtful about it. Maybe it is though. You are not entirely wrong. It is very possible that it is true.
I mean, that seems like way too good to be true, though. Like,
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It's ambitious, but it's possible, honestly. It's possible. Like we can always force them to be all positive. So maybe we can always force them to be all negative.
I think what we can do is that like we can try to just generalize it for B1, B2, BK, and among B1, B2, BK, consider the largest of them, and suppose it is bk, and we will make cos of theta bk equal to -1 by choosing theta, like many such value of theta exist. And maybe we can keep shifting the like theta appropriately, so that all other cos thetas become negative.
Yeah, that's what he was also saying almost. Yeah,
Yeah.
like even if you take arbitrary set or this set, I don't really see it yet. Like uh, I'm not concerned about how the set looks currently. But somebody had that idea, right? I think it was good actually. The initially somebody said Chebyshev like expanding it as polynomials, right?
Yeah, I said yeah. But then like it's like so random. How do you
No,
even?
no, it could be good, is what I'm thinking now. Earlier, I was dubious about it, but we have a polynomial in cos theta, right?
Yeah. Okay, so like I think maybe wait, okay, no.
Yeah, like let's say our polynomial is q of x, right? Now, q of x plus 1 has a root between mine in this range is all we want. That does not seem all that bad, honestly.
What is q of x? Cos of theta a minus b.
If we like write,
A
you
minus b
can
is x.
write q of a minus b cos theta. There's such a q, right? Is equal to cos of theta into a minus b. You pick such a q and you sum all such q's. You get q of x. Now you just want q of x plus 1 to have a root between -1 and 1.
But why between -1 to 1?
Because cos takes value between -1 and 1.
Oh, so like, but there's a plus 1 also, no? So
Like
wouldn't it
q
be?
of x plus 1, I'm already considering q of x plus 1. If this plus 1 comes here, then this is 0.
Okay.
This seems quite decent actually. Like such a root, okay. If we were just looking at the modulus of the root, such a root exists. But like I don't know how to prove such a real root exists.
Wait, like I mean I don't know like how cos takes complex values, like not very.
I mean, I'm looking at it as a general polynomial, right? Just q of x plus 1.
Yeah, so like I'm not very acquainted with like complex.
Yeah, yeah. Like cos does not take complex values. I'm just in at least where how we are working. The x cos I'm talking about is I'm just trying to expand this polynomial and then look at in real roots of it. And I want one of the real roots to lie between -1 and 1, so I can set my cos inverse of that as theta.
So like I mean the existence itself of a real root of a random polynomial is like
Fine. It's manageable.
wait, what, manageable?
Like maybe it could be manageable. I don't know, but it could be manageable. It could be very fine.
Okay, wait, I'm confused.
Like I'm
How are
saying
you
we could be able to find it. I'm not sure how we'll do it, but I'm saying it does not sound that ridiculous that we'll be able to find a real root, just a real root.
like what do we have like conditions on Q of x?
I'm not sure. That's why I'm thinking. If I knew, I wouldn't. I would tell you if I knew.
Okay, so like there must be some general formula for the expansion, right? Maybe you could look at that. Maybe you could get something.
There's a general formula for.
Expansion cos of n theta. Maybe you could look at that.
Yeah, I mean, I could write that, but I don't see just opening it to be a great thing.
Oh. Then like what? Like I don't understand. Where will the condition come from then? Like what? Like
I don't know. I'm saying if we could do this, then we would be done. Is all I'm saying. If I knew, then I would solve the problem. I've been sitting here with you for the past 45 minutes trying to solve it. If I knew, I would just solve it.
no, like where is like the okay? So like where are you? Like what are you even thinking? Like what? Like what? Like, what am I saying? So like what are you like? What are you planning to get the condition from? Like cause if you're not expanding, then like what? What is the property that you will do?
I don't know. I don't know yet how I'm going to do it. But like the place we are at seems reasonable. I don't know how I'm going to go further. But I know that this is better than where we started. If that makes sense. Let's try this till 7 o'clock, and then we'll for half an hour more we'll try another problem. Sounds okay?
7 or 8.
Sorry, 8. Then half an hour more we'll try another problem.
Sure.
This looks pretty good, honestly.
Okay, so one condition we got is q of 1 is 1, obvious, and like okay, so like is there like okay, so like q of 0 I'm considering right now. So like when okay, so like in odd n of in expansion of cos of n theta where n is odd, I mean, is there a constant term? I don't think there's a constant term.
In expansion of what?
Expansion of 2n plus 1 theta, cos of 2n plus 1 theta, where n is okay. So like cos of n theta where n is odd essentially.
I don't know.
Like I mean, okay, so I only know like till cos 3 theta in which there is no constant term. So like it's okay, like just assume like
I think we're overcomplicating it, honestly. If I be honest with
no,
you,
so like I think no, I think it's almost done. Like if you were to do this like this, so like if I
wait. So, yeah, sorry, go on.
yeah, so like if I can tell that cos of 2n plus 1 theta has a negative constant term and cos of 2n theta has no constant term and cos of 2n plus 1 theta has negative constant term, then we're done.
Yes, okay, that is very weird. So what I was earlier we were trying was this idea, right? Like maybe we could plug in pi by n and pi by 2 pi by n and all, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, 2 pi by n and k pi by n. And now since everything averages at 0 when you go over all these, right? Then it could be good, correct?
Yes, that would be nice.
Yeah. Like this average is at 0, right? If you just go over all, unless number divides n.
But then like we need the average to be 0 for q of x plus 1.
What?
Don't we?
I don't know exactly what you're saying, but I was thinking if we could fix like a minus b has a maximum, right?
Yeah.
So if we could fix that to be -1, like cos of, let's say a minus b was maximum, so let's say this is d into cos d theta is equal to -1 if I fix. This
Yeah.
happens when pi by d, 2 pi by d, no, not 2 pi by d, 3 pi by d, 3 pi by d, 5 pi by d, and all. If I could do this, like if I do this, does it still average at 0? It should, no. Like there's no reason that it shouldn't. Like, okay, now nothing divides d, so we are happy anyway. But like if we're going over all these, it should average at 0. I don't see why it shouldn't.
Oh, like that is nice.
Like we can go over enough of these and it should eventually average at 0, no?
Yes. So like we can make a condition where like it doesn't, and then be like it only doesn't go for only I think multiples of d.
I
Right?
think, okay, yeah, and multiples of d is never encountered because a minus b is already maximized.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Okay, this could work this way because you're working over all pi by d odd multiples, right? And you're working with a into pi into pi by d plus 2k pi by d, correct?
I think we need D even or something.
D could be odd currently. Currently, we don't know anything about D.
Like for the average to be 0.
Oh, why?
Might need something like that.
Why? My concern is currently, okay, if we had just a pi by d, a pi by d, you just, what a pi by d? Yeah, a pi by d is some constant. Now, if I'm rotating it by 2a pi by d and considering all things, right? And I'm integrating over these multiples or summing over whatever.
Oh, but what is the guarantee it will average to 0? Like it can be, we can iterate over maximum of 2 pi terms, no?
2 pi terms? What?
Like 2 pi times, I mean, we can perform this iteration.
2 pi times? No. This should average at 0 ideally, I think.
Yeah. So like
Like we can keep on adding to your finite terms, no? Because after that it is periodic. So
what?
How is it?
So what? Like,
How is it like given
that,
average to 0 for the first case?
what do you mean?
Like for like pi by n, 2 pi by n, 3 pi by n, dot. Like they don't sum to 0, no? When n is odd, I think.
Yes.
Like for n, like they don't sum to 0. Cos of those don't sum to 0.
Yeah, I know. Why is that?
What are you talking about?
I mean, okay,
You told
whatever.
sum to 0.
No. Okay, I think this actually works. So look at it this way. You are summing cos 2a pi by d, correct?
okay, ignoring the constant. Okay, fine. Wait.
Okay, plus a pi by d, fine. Right?
Yeah.
This
K.
is equal to real part of.
Okay, yeah, you forgot
sum
K.
of-
Yeah.
I mean, you are summing over all k.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're summing basically k greater than equal to 0 to d minus 1, I guess. Does not even matter. E to the 2 pi a k by d plus a pi by d into I, whatever. This a pi by d just goes away outside. It's a constant.
Yeah.
So now when you're summing over this I, this is just 0 because these are roots of x to the d minus 1. and d greater than equal to 1. And this does not have, there's no issue because a less than b. So we're just done.
Okay, wait. How are the root of doom?
I mean this this value just
Okay,
like
yeah.
these are all root. Okay, let's say we want to look at a by d. No, a by d equal p by q. Say in lowest form.
Yeah, that makes sense now. Okay, yeah.
So now you're looking at roots of x to the q minus 1. Q greater than 1 is all you want, but that's true since d greater than a.
Yes, very nice.
Okay, that was actually silly. I don't know how we missed that for so long. Like I was trying it, I just did not even, it did not even occur to me I just should fix
But
one.
wait. Doesn't it have
Oh.
to like it has to be co-prime to be perfect?
No, it has to be just a has to be less than d is the only condition.
Can you please tell how did you do after real part, like real part considered earlier?
This is just 0 now. I mean, if the real of 0 is 0 is the idea.
Yeah, it's 0 because like the second coefficient is 0 of h bar d minus. So, like, that's it.
Yeah. This just okay. Fine. Silly.
Could you quickly overview the solution? I got disconnected.
Okay. We actually finished in time. Nice. Like within the target time. So
I am fine till we obtain that we want cos of summation cos theta bracket में minus b equal to minus 1.
yeah, okay. Now take the maximum of these values, like your initial idea that you had, right? Arbitrary set I'm looking at. Okay, b1 to bn. Now just pick the bn. Bn is the largest, so bn. I pick theta such that cos of theta into bn is -1. Like there are many of these thetas, right?
Yeah.
You just sum over cos of all of those on the other terms, they average to 0. So at some point there will be negative or 0, like their sum for some for one of these thetas. But since it averages below -1 and at some theta is equal to 0, we know it's 0. So between there will be some theta so that it's
So
-1.
why will it go below -1?
Because one thing we have fixed at -1. No, one thing is -1 and others are averaging to 0. So that
Why
-1 is
others
now,
average to 0?
that's the whole remaining argument that we did. That you are looking at if d was the maximum difference in a minus v. So our a we would want to take values pi by t 2k plus 2k pi by d for k's, right?
Yeah.
So now just sum over cos of these. This is real part of sum over k greater than equal to 0 till d minus 1 of e to the 2 pi a k by d plus a pi by d into I.
I didn't get the a pi by d plus 2 a k pi by d thing. Like how we got that.
I mean, if you just multiply this by d, you get 2 a k pi. It just goes away. It's the whole point. D theta is equal to -1, right? So if you multiply this becomes 2 a k pi. 2 a k cos 2, like multiples of 2 pi you can ignore, and this is just pi.
Oh, how did you get real part as 0, by the way?
I mean, the whole number evaluates to 0, so its real part is also 0.
Can you just explain in full detail the why average is less than 0?
No, average is 0. Like e to the 2 pi a k I you are summing over, right? And a pi by d you have k greater than equal to 0 to d minus 1.
We are taking average till which point? Like the value of k is varying from
0
what
to d minus 1.
Oh, 0 to k minus 1.
0 to d minus 1.
Oh.
And because this is 2 pi a k by d I plus a pi by d I, e to the a pi by d I, you can take out outside here. This is a constant. And we are just left with this part. And this is obviously summing to 1. Sorry, 0.
So like okay, so like it won't affect the proof, but like shouldn't like A and D be prime again, so that we cover all the
No, I mean you can if A and D are not co-prime, say
yeah, I mean, it won't affect, like we can cancel and then we can tell that whatever the denominator is, we can go through that.
sorry, no,
But
okay, no, I'm telling you, no, like if it was QC, D equal QC and A equal PC, then you're going through C rounds of summation is
okay, fine.
greater than
Okay,
equal to
got it.
0 to
Got
Q
it.
minus 1.
Got it. Got it.
Okay, you got it right. 2 I
But
pi.
like we have to make the polynomial x bar c minus 1 again. Whatever. Fine.
This is and C of these rounds, but these are just the roots of x to the Q minus 1.
Yeah.
So they sum to 0 since Q greater than 1. So this C is again irrelevant. This is just normal. There's no creativity in the remaining. Like the only thing we forgot to do, like I had this idea that I wanted to average it at 0, but the thing I was struggling with was we were averaging at 0.
What are you doing with real thing like cos theta is real only? So what are you considering?
Array, cos theta, no, we shifted to e to the, we were thinking of it in terms of sum of e to the I thetas and all. So we were putting real outside it. So the only the cos theta part it's irrelevant to us. But since inside only it evaluated to 0, so we said, okay, it does not matter. It's 0 plus 0 I. Our cos part also sums to 0. Okay, just review it on your own. This is not very complicated. Let's actually try another problem now. I think everything we did was very natural, so it can't be that far from the intended proof either. You can look it up. This is source I know is
Problem 3.
yeah. You can vote HMIC 2021. I don't know which problem.
What is HMIC?
HMIC.
Harvard, MIT, Invitational.
No, but like these type of things can include complex analysis and undergrad and 12th high-tech stuff.
Harvard, MIT, Invitational, no. Like
It is the second.
it requires sometimes fancy things, but not really.
Also, like how should one do calculus in Olympiad level?
What do you mean how? Like if it works, it works.
No, it works.
Problem 3.
Like I mean, like where one can attempt problems and theorems which are at least Olympiad level. Like Putnam is the only source, isn't it?
Calculus type. I've not
Yeah.
actually ever used calculus outside polynomials, I think.
No, I am trying to say that how to attempt calculus in Olympiad flavor.
Yeah. Okay, I've not done that, so I can't say.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like won't we sometimes use calculus for telling if a function is what do you call continuous or not in function equations?
I mean, I never had to use that in an actual exam, and outside it, I usually like I can do it. I've done it a few times in practice, but like mostly I just hand wave it.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was common. Okay.
No, like Jensen's and all I know how to use and I can use it, but I prefer not to.
Oh, okay.
Like that's all you're usually using concavity and all for, right, in Olympiad. Oh, my video is off. I see. Interesting.
Problem 3 now.
HMIC is the second round of HMMT.
After they call some of the best participants in HMMT for HMIC is my understanding. I may be wrong.
Okay.
So
Okay, so one more.
till 9 we have the PSS and after that it's a theory class.
8:30. I need a half an hour break. I need to have dinner and all.
Okay.
Okay, so like you said that it was everything was very natural, like but like we wandered like so many times, right? We were like switching between options and everything.
Not really, like we first, okay, like this was f into f of z into f of z dash we did. That is like almost we did without
Common. Okay.
thinking. Then this your idea was again not that ridiculous and n minus 2. Then we were stuck at this part for a bit, no?
Yes.
And
Wait, yeah.
then this averaging idea I had for a long while, but I did not realize earlier that I could just do it for my minus. Like I was trying to fix something and do it, but then I didn't realize that I could just pick the maximum one, and then I realized, and we were just able to do it. Then again, we switched between here. We were trying q of x plus one, but we didn't get any real progress.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Like yeah, I mean yeah, it does seem natural. Okay.
Like relatively, it was direct only. We did not really switch between many ideas, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we spent a lot of time on it, an hour or so, which is slightly more than I would have wanted, like if I was trying on my own. But other than that, it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, we are waiting for the vote, right?
Yeah, somebody said P3 has been chosen, right? Oh, nobody actually voted. So that person just went with their own choice. Amazing. Cool.
Yes, 1.3 I told.
Yeah, okay, yeah. 1.3, that's true.
The most obvious solution is x equal to minus y.
Ah, interesting. Okay, x equal minus
I mean like
y.
there are so many x plus y, so like so
Oh,
F of
yeah,
0
yeah,
equal
yeah.
to 0.
Uh,
F
uh,
of 0
uh,
equal to 0.
it's f of x into f of 0
so
plus
equal to minus f of 0.
f of 0, not just.
Yeah, equal to 0. That's yeah.
Oh, put x equal to y equal to 0 and you get f of 0 equal to 0.
Okay, x equals 0 implies f of 0 is 0.
Wait, how?
I just plug 0 comma 0, he said. 0 comma 0 just means
Oh,
f1
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
0.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Y equals to 0 would give that f is surjective for positive reals, I mean non-negative reals.
Y is equal to 0, you say, right? So f of x is equal to x square, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And x equals 0 gives us f of y is y square. Okay, same thing. थोड़ी देर में दे देता हूँ. ठीक है, थैंक यू. हाँ हाँ, बाहर रख दो. सॉरी.
Okay, so like it's like just a bit non-symmetric in x and y, so maybe we could use that.
Okay, so we switch between x and y.
Uh,
Seems good. I like it. So we get f of f of x plus y.
You are interchanging, right?
Yeah. And when I do the other side, I think if I put x and y here, I want to bring which one back? I think this is better. X plus y f of x is equal to, so y f of x plus y minus f of what's the other thing? X plus y f of y. Like the function I tried to create here is just for some a comma b f of a f of b minus f of b of a. That's what this basically looks like for b equal x plus y, a equal x.
Oh, B can be anything actually, right? We can vary Y over R. So,
Yeah. But like this is the second is also dependent on our choice of a and b.
someone in the chat room.
Wait. So this is sorry, whosoever wrote, just can you give me a second?
Oh, someone in the chat wrote an idea.
Yeah. The thing is, this is true for this b and this a, and it's also true for b minus a, right? Like that's what y is basically, right? Like the same value would be there if a and b, if instead of a we looked at b minus a.
Yes.
What did it mean?
Okay, does not help much. Interesting. Let u be a root of f, then the above mentioned quality is like.
Can you show the problem again?
Oh, I think that your idea somehow works. We can conclude that
Okay.
f of x plus y minus f of x plus y, f of x is a constant. Like keeping y as very, very small, it will be equal to like every real number. We can, I think so. Yeah.
It just doesn't work. I mean, you only get a and b minus a on the second part, not more than that.
This equal, or this is also true for b minus 2 then, no?
No. It's true for b minus a, which is just a.
Oh,
That's like just between these two. Keep going back and forth. Let u be a root of f, then the above implies injectivity at 0. Okay, what? U is a
Use
root?
f of x into f of x equals to x square. Then if f of u is equals to 0, then
No.
u must be 0. And if f of
What are you setting as u? Sorry, can you repeat?
if f of u is 0, it's the root of f,
Yeah.
then it must be 0 because u square equals to 0 हो जाएगा ना. And then
Wait,
if we let
how is u square 0?
use that f
Just
of u.
f of x is
Mhm.
equal to x square.
And if we this is just a common substitution. If we let v such that f of v is equals to 1, then we get v square equals to 1. So v is
F
plus
of
minus 1.
v equals 1, then f of v equals v square. This is what you're saying?
Uh, yeah, I guess.
I think we will then split into f of b equal plus minus 1, and then we will get the solution f of b equal plus minus v.
V equals to plus minus 1.
Yeah.
Well, like
Can
according
we
to
get
that, we will get
can
f
we
of
get
b equal
general
plus minus.
injectivity? If we would get general injectivity, we would get odd, which seems nice. Injectivity in itself is nice, to be honest. Though.
Okay, like sorry for the silly doubt, but injectivity was onto what was injectivity?
Oh, Injectivity, you don't know the definition you're asking, is it?
Yeah, so like I only remember onto and
Injectivity is like A goes to B, C goes to B, implies A equals C.
oh, okay, got it.
Okay, like just these three terms you should just remember in general: injectivity, bijectivity, surjectivity. Not very complicated in just three terms.
Yeah, like I'm so like I forget something.
No, it's fine. It comes with I wasn't able to remember it for till my second RMO, but yeah, something like that. It's fine. But you should remember it. I wasn't. That was wrong, but you should.
What should we remember? I
Just
just missed.
injectivity, surjectivity, bijectivity. Definition
Okay.
somebody didn't know. This is. I don't know why this should be complicated. This doesn't seem that bad. I mean, there's the obvious solution that f of x equal x. Is there any other solution?
Wait, how does it imply injectivity? Will it imply A is equal to minus plus or minus B, right? So
Okay, no, I mean, if we get injectivity, he was saying. I was saying, I guess.
oh,
These are solutions. What else is solution?
F of x equal minus x.
Yeah, plus minus x 0, right? Okay, I should not write plus minus. F of x equal x and f of x equal minus x are separate solutions. Okay, how do we do this? I'm not finding anything like this. The asymmetry looks interesting, but other than that, I don't see anything. I think maybe we could add the two equations and make it 2x y square and then look at each symmetric part and somehow conclude something interesting about each symmetric part.
I think like we can. I think I can do it for x positive. I think. Like
Okay,
why is it
interesting.
f is surjective for it's like f takes all positive numbers.
Yeah, okay. What do you want to
And
plug
I
in
think
f as?
so like and we all so like let's take f of b equal to 1.
Fine.
And now we also have that f of a f of b is f of b f of a. No?
Sorry, what did you
it's
do?
like we
What was
cannot
the
say
plugging?
equal to one, right? Like we just
Like
put
I'm
in.
just saying f of b
You
equal to 1
plugged
and we know
you plugged in y equal b, right?
I didn't I'm plugging in some in another equation, not this one.
Which equation are you using?
Like the one on the top right.
Here.
F of a f of b is f of b f of a, na?
No. We don't have that.
We don't.
We were talking about f
Oh,
of a minus f of
oh,
b. So that would be very
what do we
strong
have
if we
then? It
had
is
this.
what?
We have nothing. We just know f of 0 is 0 and it's surjective on positives. And nothing else other than 0 goes to 0.
Okay.
I'm curious about the situation when a f of a, like the function f of a upon a, hello Atul, this is the problem we are currently working on. We have no progress other than x equals 0 is the only root of f, and it's surjective on positive. Like every positive value, non-negative value is achieved since f of x is 0 x squared.
Have we proved the 1 1 part?
Have we proved what part?
1 1.
No, nothing. We have nothing more than what I told you.
I have like a vague idea, like if we were to put some y equal to something, and then like do something, like we could get that f of x could be positive only, maybe, because like we have on the right we have square. Maybe if you could equate the two f terms, you could get f of x is always positive. Maybe.
That is just not true, because if in both the solutions
Okay,
this
like,
is
yeah, this
not
is
true,
okay, yeah.
we will not be able to get that unless we have some additional conditions at least.
I have some slight progress. If we substitute y equals to 1 minus x, then we get something interesting.
Y equal
Slightly
1 minus
interesting.
x.
Yeah. Also,
Oh,
you would
also.
have to use that either f of 1 is equals to 1 or f of minus 1 is equals to 1. I
Wait,
mean, you
why
would
is that true?
assume.
Why is that true?
I just proved it. Use
Do
that.
tell that first.
Sorry.
Yeah, right. How?
Like x equal to 1, you put in the equation of f of x.
Okay, okay.
Are you
I see.
asking?
Wait, I
Yeah,
think in
okay.
my
Sorry, go on. I interrupted someone. Can please go on?
it's like leave the topic. Okay, so I was talking about that. Maybe it would be better if we were to like just put x plus y as some constant, because like lot of places there's x plus y. There's only
Yeah,
y.
yeah. Okay. I mean, okay. We could do that also. The person is correct. We have f of 1 is 1, right? And plugging in x equal f of 1 now, we just get that f of f of 1 is equal to f of 1 square is equal to 1. So f of 1 equal plus minus 1 also we get.
Yeah, that was what I was going for.
Is the function continuous?
No, we have nothing like that at all. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Go on. You said x comma 1 minus x.
Yeah, now substitute y equals to 1 minus x. We get something slightly nice. Actually, wait.
Of
We
x,
might no. Does this
no,
solve it actually? No,
really.
this doesn't solve it.
I would be surprised if that's true. F of 1 minus x is equal to 1. This is what we get.
Yes, and
Put f of 1 equal to 1, so it is f of x. पहला वाला
or
ठीक है.
or minus 1. It's
Okay, we'll
kind of nice.
consider the two cases, I guess. F of 1 equal 1, let's consider for now. First, if we do that, then we get f of x plus f of 1 minus x equal 1. Interesting.
F of 1 minus x.
What?
आपने लिखा f of x plus f of 1 minus x. f to 1 minus x से. Oh,
Yeah, okay. I see.
Now
Wait,
if you were
wait,
to
wait. This is very good then. If this is true, then you should be able to repeat it, no? Like if we could now plugging in, maybe not. F of 1 minus x, this is, so if I were to initially plug in 1 minus x here instead, then I would get f of x plus f of 1 minus x, f of 1 minus x is equal to 1 is equal to f of 1 minus x plus f of
oh,
x.
f of 1 minus x, not f of 1 minus x. Second equation.
Second time is this. I'm
Oh, you
plugging
are
in x equal 1 minus x.
आप x की जगह f of 1 minus x रख रहे हो ना?
X की जगह I'm placing 1 minus x.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's fine. No, 1 minus 1 minus
So,
x is just x.
so it should be f2, not f3, in the second term of second
Array,
expression.
this is a bracket.
Oh, by the way, putting x equal to f of 1 minus x gives us f of x equal to f3 of x.
F, how?
Uh,
Imagine that's 1 minus f of.
I'm putting
Interest. Okay, brilliant. That is just brilliant, right? You plugged in f of 1 minus x, so that gives you f of 1 minus x plus
f3 of x.
f of 1 minus f of 1 minus x, which is f of x, I think.
Yes.
1 minus. Yeah, so f4 of x, no?
It's F3.
It's f3.
I
Okay.
It
I'll
can't
just
be
believe
F4.
you whatever you say because this is just computation that I don't want to do. Yeah, it
wait, no,
can't be 3. It
So I
can't be
think
3.
when
It
f
has to
of
be
f
4.
takes pos.
It can be
okay.
No,
3.
it's
Okay,
4.
you're right.
Oh, it gives
You
It has
actually
to be 3. It can't be 4.
it actually gives
X equal has to be 4.
f of 1 minus f of 1 minus x. Oh, weird.
f of this value. So f of 1 minus f of 1
1
minus
minus
x.
x.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that is f of x, no?
Oh, no. Oh, how? So like x की
You are
जगह
doing 1 minus f of 1 minus x, right?
yes.
Which is f of x is f4x, no?
1 minus f of
It
1 minus x. वो f of x थोड़ा ना होगा.
Array, that's f of x. Like f of 1 minus f of 1 minus x, you are asking, right? f of this
Yes.
value.
Yes.
But this value is f of x. Just here, just look at this equal to 1. This
Oh,
goes here. It's
okay.
f4, no?
Sure. Yes. Yeah, f4 x.
Array, this is also very good. Thing is, f4x is equal to x, right? Now we go back to our initial idea that
Oh,
I
f4
have
x.
some
X.
proceedings. Can
so
I?
F3 takes.
just a minute. Just give me a minute. The point
Okay.
is now we have a cycle, right? X
Oh,
goes to x
actually,
prime
it's wrong.
goes to.
f4x is f of x, not x. वहाँ पे f of x था ना पहली इक्वेशन में.
Array, fine. Okay, f of x. Okay.
Like good enough. Everything in range is in cycle.
Yeah, okay. Let's just pretend we are looking at range. That's already the positives. So x goes to x prime goes to x double prime goes to x triple prime. No, that comes back to x, no? Yeah. Okay, comes back to x. So now we were looking at the product of these two first, and that was going to x square, right? The product of these two is going to x prime square, and the product of these two is going to x double prime square. Is that it? So even length cycle is better.
By the way, how did you get this?
Array, just this equation, no? F of x is equal to f of x square.
Which one?
Yeah, sorry, someone was saying, I interrupted. Oh, f of x is equal to x square.
Okay. And then we can use f of x into f of x equals to x square to get that f iterated 3 times of x square is equals to x square. So we eliminated one x, sorry, one f from both sides, but then we have the result for non-negative reals.
What?
Use the fact that f of x into f of x equals to x square, then you would
F of x
remove
into
one.
f of x is
I
x
mean
square. How?
f of inside it x into f of x, then
Yeah.
out equals to x square.
Yeah, okay, fine.
That would shed off one f from both sides in this cycle.
No, I don't think so.
Try it.
Can I tell something?
Yeah, yeah. Go on, Mayuk.
Can you scroll down? I mean, it will be better if you write. I let that say f of a is equal to f of a plus c for some a and
Okay,
c,
f of a equal f of a plus c. Okay.
and then I put x is equal to c and y is equal to a.
X equal to c, y equal a. Okay.
Something good will happen because when I have done it. X a plus c whole square will cut out from LHS and RHS.
What magic? How?
Essentially, you're saying put y is equal to f of x minus x.
Yes, the in the LHS the second term will be a plus c whole square, and in the RHS also we are getting a plus c whole square.
Wait, what? X and f of x minus x, you said, right? This is what you asked me to put, right?
No, no.
Then?
A c is
Uh,
equal to x and y is equal to a.
okay, f of x minus x comma x.
Okay, yes. So
So this is f of x minus f into uh, f of x and f of whole of this is equal to f of x whole square is equal to f of x whole square. Is this what you meant?
um actually I put a and c, so I couldn't for. Can I open my video and write something?
I mean you wouldn't be able to write here.
No, I mean in my copy. I will turn
Oh
on
yeah,
my
yeah,
video.
yeah, yeah, sure.
Yes, okay.
Okay, this follows from f x equal f.
How do I reverse my camera?
Now I can't see it yet, but okay.
1 minute.
Whosoever said
I'm
it, you
trying to
can raise.
reverse my camera.
I
Whosoever
don't think
said
so.
you can.
Worse.
Who said you can reduce one f? I don't can like. I don't know who said it.
Like it's the exact same as saying like f3 is equal to x for the range, which is like non-negative cubes. That's
Okay, fine. Like you're saying, like at least one pre-image exists if like for the range.
Yes, I will be showing. Please. I've turned on my video actually. So I assume that
Yeah.
there exists a and c such that f of a is equal to f of a plus c. And
F
in
of
the
a
given
equal f
equation,
of
we
a plus c. Okay, you're assuming non-injective. Okay.
yes, exactly that we are given f of a 1 minute x into f of x plus y plus f of x plus y f of y is equal to x plus y whole square.
Yes.
So putting x is equal to c and y is equal to a 1 minute
Yeah.
and y is equal to a, we get f of c into This is equal to f of a plus c times f of a plus c.
Okay.
According and this is equal to a plus c whole square.
That is clever.
Yes, that cancels out from both sides. So we now
Wait,
get
how does
Like
it
f
cancel
of
out?
f of x is x square.
Ah, I see.
is equal to 0. In that case,
A goes to A plus C is what he assumed, right?
yes, in that case, we get this. Or in fact, we can write is equal to 0 in that case. Now,
So CF of A will be 0.
yes, we are
So,
given the equation
so C is
this,
0.
isn't it?
So this
We are
gives
gi-
injectivity.
This gives you C equals 0, so this proves injectivity, I assume, right?
Yes, C equals 0.
And that implies injectivity.
No,
Because I
no,
think that's the
I've
only
done
thing we
further
given.
something.
Okay.
We are given this equation.
Yeah.
So now we reverse x and y.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah.
Mm, No, I think here I've done a silly mistake.
Okay. I think C equals 0 is already very strong though. Like
Yes,
you proved
yes,
injectivity. You proved injectivity, I think, right?
yes.
So if because we have injectivity and every positive has a pre-image, I think yeah, that just proves the positives thing, right? Like there's
Couldn't f of a be 0, like a be 0?
It proves that
negatives
it proves f of x is minus f of
negative
minus x.
f of x is
Minus f is odd.
how?
Like in f of x is x square is equal
Yeah,
to.
right. X odd we had it given injectivity, right, of course.
So f is surjective.
F is surjective, fine. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Great. We actually get that. And this does not even require us to. Okay, so our result extends to also negative result. Okay. Uh, is it fine if I extend till 9 and I eat dinner here?
Sure, right.
Sure.
Actually, no, it's being recorded. I'll eat it off only.
You can turn off video and eat.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll take. I want to take a break after this anyway. I think it's been going for way too long.
So we can then start the next session at 9:15 then.
Sure. Let's finish this though. Actually, I think at this point everyone can finish on their own. Take a 15-20 minute break, and like we are very close to finishing. I think you should be able to finish from here actually. And at this point, let's just take a break, and we'll continue at 9:10. Okay,
From 9.
9:10. Take a half an hour break.
Okay,
Thanks. Thanks for the class.
bye.
Bye. See you
Bye.
then.